Hello, this is Don with Dynamo Services. I know that um, I'm showing you what seems to be a pile of junk right now, but actually, this is my second business that I just started about 2 months ago. Um, I was looking online, I was looking on YouTube, and I wanted to start another business, and I really didn't know what to do. So I was searching YouTube, and I came across a lot of people, actually, a pretty large community of people that go to thrift stores and they buy stuff and they resell things on eBay. So I started with one item. It was a amp and a speaker. I bought at a thrift store for $50, and I split the amp and the speaker up, and I actually doubled my money. So I started with one item, and it eventually grew to this big pile that you see right here. Now, this right here, this is my collection. Actually, this is my brother's and I collection that we inherited from our father. Um, what I want to do is I want to specialize in vintage speakers and vintage amps and just vintage stereo equipment because I already have the ability to pretty much set everything up and test it and see if it works and resell it. I already sold two vintage Sensui speakers that I paid $25 for at a thrift store, and I resold those speakers within 24 hours for $315 plus $100 shipping. And once when I did that, I thought, I think I have something going here. And just recently, I sold a sewing machine for, I paid $20 for it, and I sold it for $107 on eBay. It took about 2 weeks to sell. Um, this is stuff that a lot of people overlook, but a lot of people don't know that there are many people out there that will pay big money for vintage stereo equipment because there's not a price on it because they don't make this kind of stuff anymore. So, and there's not a lot of people doing it as well. And because, I mean, you have to have the ability to test everything and make sure that everything is working correctly before you resell it on eBay. So, those two receivers that you see on the top right there, those I just picked up about this week. I picked up the first receiver, believe it or not, for $5.99 at a thrift store, and I just sold it on eBay for $60 plus shipping. The one on top I still have for sale on eBay. Sorry about the camera moving so much, but this right here is pretty much our collection of vintage toys and music, albums and CDs and everything from the 60s and 70s. I mean, we have probably thousands of albums and CDs. I mean, these things are worth a lot of money that right now we're just keeping in the family. But if you look here, these are old toys from the 60s era. Um, they're all from the 60s. These are all old Matchboxes from the 60s. My father collected them, and at one time I remember going and actually picking up a few items with my father. Uh, he was also really big into doing models, and he was really good at it too. I mean, just the detail on some of these models that he has done is extremely well done. I mean, I couldn't do anything like this. These are models that he made, and they look really good. I mean, the detail on these models are just extremely well built. I I mean, I will give him that. He definitely had an eye for vintage things. Now, my favorite part of the collection is the Matchbox toys because that's pretty much what I remember me and my father doing was I do remember picking up a few Matchbox pieces with my father. He was trying to get me into it when I was young. I mean, this is stuff that you do not find anywhere anymore. Those big ones back there, those are called King Matchboxes. They were made in the 70s, and if you look, I mean, these are extremely clean, still in the boxes. And these are all, besides that Redskins truck right there that my kids put in this collection. These are all old Matchbox cars and trucks from the 60s that back in the early 2000s and the late 90s, these cars were actually going for about $50 a piece at least. But due to the fact that a lot of people are not collecting these anymore, the price went down tremendously. I think the price went down, but one thing is that you cannot find them like you were able to back in the late 90s and early 90s. I mean, I never come across old Matchbox toys and old Matchbox cars. These are some more models that my father has made. Planes, and I mean, I really don't know that much about it, but these models he built from the ground up, and he did an extremely well job, I think. I mean, I couldn't build anything like this. Okay, I know that this looks like a pile of junk to a lot of people, but yeah, this is what I started doing. I started going to thrift stores and buying products, and I reselling them on eBay. If you look, pretty much everything I buy and everything that I have is brand new in the box. I mean, I don't see a lot of people in the eBay community that are able to pick up merchandise brand new in the box. Maybe it's my area that I live at, but every day I find something to pick up. And it took this pile of stuff is probably from about 2 months of buying. And I pretty much triple my money on each and every item that I sell. I mean, if you look, I mean, everything's pretty much brand new. That's, I mean, here, this is a Gibson gig bag. That's an open sign. I mean, everything that I have is pretty much brand new. And I have almost 100 items on eBay right now. And I made about $1,000 so far within the last, I would say, 45 days of doing this. I just started, but what I want to focus the majority of my time on is, like I said, buying and selling vintage stereo equipment because I have the ability to test it all out and make sure that it's all good to go and resell it. And like I said, this equipment is pretty easy to come by because a lot of people overlook it, but because people just don't know that there are people out there willing to pay so much money for vintage stereo equipment. So, like I said, I paid $6 for that receiver. It's a Sanyo receiver. I paid $6 for, and I just sold it for $60 plus shipping on eBay. This one I still haven't gotten any hits on it yet. I'm asking $100 for that receiver right there. That's another receiver that I picked up today. That's a home theater receiver. I picked it up because I see them going for a lot of money on eBay, so I picked it up for $20, and I'm trying to get probably $100. I mean, I'm still doing my lawn and landscaping, and I just got a plow truck, so I'm gonna try to do plowing as well. Uh, but um, I mean, this is my thing. I mean, there's just a lot of old stuff in this room, stuff that you just can't get anymore because it's just nowhere to be found. I know it looks like a pile of junk to a lot of people, but there's a lot of money sitting in here. I mean, we have 4 boxes of these old comic books from the 60s and 70s. I mean, 10 cents. I mean, we have boxes of these, probably a couple hundred. I really don't know that much about it because I really don't read comics or anything, but we have several hundred comics. And I will say that my father was very good at doing models. I mean, if you can look at these models here, I mean, those are made from the ground up. I mean, I can't do anything like that. But thank you for watching Dynamo Services, and till the next video, um, I guess I'll talk to you later. And like I said, I just restarted another business selling on eBay, and it's going pretty good.